Hello. So in this particular video, what we're going to be doing is looking at the assignment briefs that you can expect to see when you begin at BGU. So what I have here is one from last year. It has been changed for this year, but it just gives you an idea of the kind of things that you might be asked to do. You can see here that we have academic year, and it'll tell you the year that you are studying with. So this one was last year, so it was 2021 to 2022. It tells you the semester. So in university, we don't have terms, we have semesters, and we have semester 1 and semester 2. Semester 1 starts in September and it finishes in January. Semester 2 starts in the end of January and finishes at the end of May. You have the subject, which is professional studies, because that's the programme that you will be enrolled on. And then you have the programmes in relation to your pathway. So because this is a core module, all pathways will study this particular module. You then have the next part, which tells you the level of the assignment brief, which is in this case level 4. The module code, so for this one it's called FPS 101. What you'll find is that all core modules within the foundation degree start with FPS. If this was a BA Honours, it would be TPS. The 101 just relates to the module that you're actually studying. So it starts at 101 because it's the first year of your study. The next module you'll do will be FPS 102. The next module will be FPS 103. And the next module will be FPS 104. So you can see it goes up sequentially. The module title is Tools for Learning, and it's a 30 credit module. You will do 4 30 credit modules in the first year. The next part to bring your attention to is the component. We're looking at 2 of 2. There is another one, which is an oral assessment. It comes before this particular one. But this is the written element, so therefore it's the second assignment that you would be doing. The weighting says 50% because essentially what happens is you will have component 1, which makes up 50% of your mark, and component 2, which makes up 50% of your mark. So to get your module total, once you've submitted and received your marks back, the amount that you get for assignment 1 and the amount that you get for assignment 2 will be added together and then divided by 2 to give you your overall module grade, but we'll explain that in more detail when you come. This tells you what kind of assignment it is. So because it is a written element, it's known as a coursework category. If you were doing an oral assignment, that would be known as a practical category. This particular assignment is a portfolio, and you can see that here. Okay, it tells you that we will be marking all the work anonymously, therefore none of the lecturers know which work we are actually marking. All we have is a B number and we don't know whose B number belongs to who. The next part is the important part because this tells you what it is you're being required to do. And it's within this section that we will mainly focus within lectures. So in this case, because it's a portfolio, there are a series of tasks that you have to do and you put them together and submit them as one on one document. So in this case, you can see you're required to submit task 1, which is an appendix, and that goes at the end of the document, and it's roughly recommended for this that you use around about 300 words. The next part is part B, and that's theories of learning, and it's approximately 1,000 words. Task 2 is approximately 1,000 words again. Now what we would recommend that you do is we would recommend that you highlight substantive words within this text to help you. And in the next video, I will be explaining what we do with that. You go down again and you see these are the module outcomes that we are testing you against. And these are really important. This is how we come to mark your work. We look at the tasks that you've been asked to do, and then we look at the module learning outcomes. The next part tells you that it's a 2,000 word assignment. That means that you're allowed a 10% above or below. So you can either submit 1,800 words or 2,200 words. We recommend that you try to aim for the word count of around 2,000 words in order to meet the learning outcomes effectively. You'll be submitting through Turnitin, which again we will explain to you in detail when you come to us in September. You've got the date and the time of submission. So it tells you exactly when you need to submit to. Unlike colleges, we have no choice but to stick to the advertised date and time of submission. This is not a soft deadline, it's an absolute deadline. So if you miss that deadline, you would be resulted in getting a 0 for your assignment. There are opportunities if you are facing difficulties that you may be able to gain an extension, and again we'll explain the rules around that when you come in September. It also tells you the date that you can expect your assignment back, and again this is not a soft date, it's an absolute date. We have to make sure that all of your work is marked and moderated and returned to you by the date that's stipulated on the assignment brief. It gives you some other further information that you can have a look through. It tells you who the module leader is, who the program leader was. This was my predecessor, Dr. Andrew Scottigood, but that is now me, and Dr. Sasha Mason, who is the head of programs. The next part of the assignment brief that's really important is the assessment grading grid, known as the rubric. This is how we would come to decide what grade we would give you based on the learning outcomes and the extent to which you've met them. And we would use this grid to determine the stage you're actually at within your work. Anything from 40 and above, so from this bracket here, is considered a pass. Anything below 40 is considered not a pass. But again, we will go through and we'll explain that to you in more detail. I hope you find this useful. Thank you.